BRODA の空の兄弟。
Venom. Venom. My, if you ever heard what I heard in the night, what fright, must have been a parasite in my past life. I don't wanna ever come down from a high. My soul was sending to the sky, guess it's you and I. Gone, but I'm feeling too alive, trying to get me out of spite. Someone's gotta pay, I ain't talking big amount. Some kind of physical pain, some kind of traumatic shit. Niggas wanna see dead bodies, probably not there, running with no automatic clips. Moving scatty, all erratic and shit. Niggas pussy licking batty and shit. Oh, you mad? Then come at me, you prick. Make a move, better pattern it quick. I assume you'll be coming for blood. That makes two of us, that makes two of us. Venom. 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 True is to stick up, hands in the air, put the money in the bag, all cash, all cash. Venom. Boom, 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 boom.
All right, let's get this done. I hate Windows. This has been an absolute disaster trying to record this, but I think I finally got everything under control. Thank you to Microsoft. You suck. I'm switching to Linux very soon. Anyways, beyond that, let's talk about this. So, Predator 2 came out in 1990, 3 years after the 1987 original Predator movie. It's supposed to be based in 1997, Los Angeles into the future. Why? I don't really know. Weird aesthetic they tried to go with. The weaponry was very weird in this movie, to be honest with you. It was like unnecessarily weird. You know what I mean? It was like futuristic, but it just looked very Aki. But anyways, beyond that, let's talk about this movie and get this review on the road. I should have been done with this review by now, but again, aforementioned Windows. So this follows through the eyes and lens of Lieutenant Mike Harrigan, played by Danny Glover, and he basically is a kind of a loose cannon of a cop, leads his team, but his definition of by the book is very loose to the like basic tenets of the book. Does not listen to authority, doesn't like political authority. He doesn't like authority in general, just does what he needs to do by the book. And he's at odds with some of the major players down in LA for how he does things, because Harrigan is a cop that has a unfortunate case of GSD, get shit done. But anyways, this gets the eye of a predator, a Yautja. I would say the City Hunter is one of my favorite. I think my favorite in the franchise. I mean, everyone likes the Jungle Hunter, but the City Hunter is, to me, by far the best of the original 3 movies in terms of accomplishments. Now, if I'm going to go the best Predator on screen ever, it will be Wolf. Wolf, his feats, his design, his no-nonsense attitude. There's a reason he's called Wolf, by the way, if you watch Pulp Fiction. By far the most accomplished and the best Predator on screen is Wolf. But the City Hunter is my favorite due to the fact that it has a psychological appeal to what it does, and it's clearly an upgrade from the Jungle Hunter because it learned from the Jungle Hunter's mistakes on certain aspects. Also, the design is pretty impeccable. The mask is angrier looking, in my opinion, and I like the fact that it's the first Predator to introduce the Yautja combi stick, which is basically its spear that has multiple attachments and basically can be sprung inward and outward for carrying. I sound like such a nerd. I apologize. I love this movie for a lot of reasons. It's different. It's in the city, so of course there's a certain set of things that happens. There's multiple factions involved. There's the Jamaicans, the Hispanic. There's the I don't know if it's the Puerto Rican gang. I don't know what the fuck they are. The Hispanics, I guess. And just multiple factions kind of going at each other. And one thing I love about it is the fact that throughout all this, the Yautja is basically in a perfect spot. Multiple dangerous armed people. This Yautja was very psychological. It did a lot of things that were psychologically damaging to someone like, especially Mike Harrigan, in the sense of it basically almost taunted Mike throughout the movie with certain things that it did. and it was to coax Mike into hunting him. And it's one of the things that I like about it. Um, but I like the fact that it was more psychological. So it makes a more personal appeal to the for the I think for the viewer, in a sense of you get more of an emotional like tie to it. You could tell that this predator learned from past mistakes of the jungle predator, which shows that the Yautjas, and this was revealed in the Predators movie, that the species does learn from mistakes, that they learn from hunts, they learn from mistakes. So they do know. So once that first round, once that jungle predator made some certain mistakes, they were fixed. Like in the third act, where the predator is being hunted by the team that Gary Busey is, which is Detective Keyes is his name. I can't remember. Yeah, Peter Keyes. He basically is leading a task force to try and freeze and take and capture the predator for studying. Not a wise decision, but this is the stupidity of man. Um, the Yautja was smart and realized, oh, it's trying to basically hide from infrared sight, camouflaging, because the predator is primarily only seen infrared. The mask is designed to help advance their sight, record sounds, and basically zoom in and pick up on targets. Their regular eyesight is just basically infrared. They basically only see infrared. They can only see infrared in general, and that is basically it. So the Yautja can only see in that setting to begin with, but they clearly learned they had to upgrade and add more variable settings to their masks, and this one did. This one basically could see from infrared, it could see in other matters, and it picked up and it could see through like just UV lighting. It had a setting for UV light, and boy, did it pick people apart. Pick people apart. In the Predators movie, they also had a heartbeat sensor. Yeah, shit you not. That is how crazy advanced they got. One thing you will also notice with the Predators, they have ability. They have well in this movie that they have their own set of rules and codes. This is where they start finally kind of opening up the lore for the Yautja clan, for the Yautja species, not clan species. And they have rules. They don't kill pregnant women. You'll see that in the movie. They don't like to kill children, even if they're really armed. They like to make sure to check. There's this one scene with the kid in the cemetery, and we all know the "Do you want some candy?" scene, and the predator basically scans the gun, realizes it's not a real gun, it's a toy gun, and just says, "Nah." I don't know how the hell they got sensors for that, but apparently, um, and said, "Nah." But they don't like to kill children. I think they would never kill a child to begin with. They never kill the unarmed. So anytime you see like in the scene where the in the one of the first scenes where the predator just basically massacres an entire group of Jamaicans in in the rooftop house or rooftop home in the high rise, the the woman having sex with the dude initially in the scene was not harmed because again, unarmed, no honor in it. This is all about honor and sport. If you are unarmed, it is dishonorable to kill you. There is no honor in it. There is no respect in it. It's very vehemently despised amongst the Yautja species. It's very vehemently looked down upon. Also, you are not to what's the word? I can't remember. There's a set of other rules, but it doesn't really apply to this movie. Just saying in general. Um, One thing I also like about this movie is the fact that this Predator seemed to be a little bit more comical. There is some more comedy in this movie than I would say the first movie with the Jungle Predator, who was more straight laced. This one could speak a bit of English, which is crazy. Um, and there were some funny things like where Harrigan goes because Harrigan blasted him, and I mean blasted this city predator with his makeshift shotgun pistol set. I don't know what the fuck to call it, but he just boom, 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 like pumped him up. It was a sawed-off shotgun that was modified. I mean, boom, boom, and he wasn't playing. The predator is down, and you think he's dead. He takes the mask off, and he goes, and he sees the face, and of course the city predator is a little bit different from the jungle predator. Probably had a lot more denticle skin, a lot more horns, just very, very much more like a desert toad, not desert toad, like a desert lizard, and like what's it called? What's that lizard called? The Gila monster. And he said, "Man, you're one ugly." Well, bam, the freaking predator wakes up, snaps, and grabs his neck, and he goes, "Motherfucker," which is very hilarious and kind of terrifying at the same time. One thing I also liked about this, um, it felt like at the end of the movie you gained more of an understanding of the species and a respect for how long they've been at this. Because at the end, Danny Glover, he does win. And by the way, anyone thinks I'm spoiling them, this movie's been out since 1990. I really don't care. If you're watching this because you want to kind of talk about and reminisce over the movie, not because you actually sit there and you know want to see if you want to see it. Not you've seen it. If you're on my channel, come on. But he triumphs over the city hunter at the time. With epic little saw blade thing that he had, like the shuriken saw blade was pretty cool. And the predator that like first phased from being invisible because they were all watching the whole time, and they gained a huge respect for Harrigan, and that predator's gonna walk away going okay, and then he's like, "Here, take it," and they can speak English, which is still scary to me. And Harrigan's like, "What?" And it's a freaking flintlock pistol, and you guys know which flintlock I'm talking about because it's been like now in two other movies, the old flintlock from you know from Prey and Killer of Killers, but it's an old flintlock from 1776. It was in the 1700s. Why did I think Prey was in the 1700s? I'm dumb. I knew it was in the 1700s. Like the pistol. Probably, yeah, it's probably damn near the 1800s. Anyways, that pistol, he's like, huh. And it's to showcase how long the Yautjas have been at this. They've been at this a lot longer than that, by the way. I'm pretty sure they've been at this hunting, at least with humans. I mean, they've been at this for eons, but hunting humans, especially, they've probably been at this since like the caveman times, or at least the Neanderthal times, like at least. Um, I'm sure we can go through a movie called Predator One. They should do this movie called Predator One, and they're hunting the Neanderthals. I'm all for it. All for it. That's just me. I like Killer of Killers. I think we need to go to the first one. I want the first ever hunt of a human. I do. I really do. But anyways, beyond that point, um, one of the things that I love about this, like I said, like this movie, it felt like this one had more of a psychological pull, but this Predator was a lot, to me, more experienced and more accomplished, and he was a tank. He took more hits. I mean, he got his arm cut off, went into a bathroom, grabbed a bunch of drywall, glass, chips, mixed it all together into an apostle, and just put it on his freaking arm that has missing another arm. Just put on the stump. Bam. Said, "Fuck it, I'm ready to go." Like that. That's insane to me. That predator tanked so much. He tanked so many hits, and eventually Harrigan did kill him with the saw blade. Um, but amazing, crazy. Um, I like that this one. This one also does have a shoulder cannon too, right? Yeah, it does. I like the fact that this one just was no nonsense. But he also still had a little bit of fun with it, so you could tell. I really did enjoy the fact that we were doing this during the city landscape. Um, sorry, I just lost my train of thought. I was just really like the fact that during this entire movie, you could tell like this, they tried to go more in on the comedy, and that I really enjoy. I think with the Predator franchise, you need to mix in a bit of comedy within the movie. Like I will say, compared to Predators, they went more serious. I felt, it worked, but there should have been more. Now there was a bit of comedy, thanks to, of course, we all know who I'm talking about. Fucking, if there's any comedy to be a Walter Goggins, man, if there's any comedy to be had, Walter Goggins will, in the most serious of movies, find that comedy. But other than that, it felt a lot more serious and dour, which I thought worked for the movie. Um, but as for Predator 2, I really enjoyed the fact that they kind of mixed more in, but I felt like they went a little too much on it when it came to the Predator, like being too comical. I'm like, okay, dial it back just a little bit. But for the most part, it was crazy. That city hunter was petty though. He was gonna literally blow up the goddamn fucking like city block with the gauntlet bomb, just because he was caught in a situation where he had to hang on to Mike Harrigan, and Harrigan's like, "Your move, asshole." He's like, "Oh, shit. Well, guess we all die." And I'm like, "You petty motherfucker." He was. Everyone says the Jungle Hunter is that's the most attitude. I'm like, no, not even close. The City Hunter is the pettiest, most attitude-driven asshole in the entire series, and I love him for it. He's my favorite design. Okay, no, he's not. Actually, my favorite design is Falconer. As much as everyone would think would be Mr. Black for the underbite because it's sick. It's a sick mask. Don't get me wrong. Falconer is my favorite design because it's in the shape of a bird, and also he has the long blade, and he is the only Yautja to this point to canonically, to be known in canon, choose to now have a shoulder cannon because he feels it is just ruins the sport of it. It's dishonorable. Coming from a predator that uses a drone is funny to me, but at least his offense isn't so egregious as being a bad blood. But he fought with honor against Hanzo, so. And I will be talking about that movie after this. I give Predator 2 an 8 out of 10. It has its issues. The reason I have issues with it as a Predator movie, the city landscape does take away from it. There's some storyline elements that kind of just get in the way of what I care about in the movie. And I feel like the whole like premise is kind of stupid. The idea of trying to freeze a predator is just dumb. How are you going to do that? What with your you didn't think this through. That thing is a highly dangerous animal, and you brought in a crew of people without lethal weaponry to fuck with a goddamn freaking 7'5" tall killing machine. When in reality, you should have had a special ops team built for this in the last 10 years, and you should have probably had that coordinated by someone like Dutch, who, for all I know, honestly, Dutch might be on it. Like he might have been taken. Dutch might have been taken by the Yautjas and frozen in carbonite or whatever the fuck they do. If you watch Killers, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But yeah, I will say this: 8 out of 10, one of my favorites. You know, I mean, obviously of the 4 or 5, and it's I like it still. It just isn't one of my. I just don't. It's just not in the same vein as Prey, Predator, or Predators to me, due to just some of the. It just feels like it's out of the way a little bit. I do like Danny Harrigan is an epic character. I love the end of the movie. I hope they didn't try and abduct him after the movie, but who knows? I mean, it's apparent that the Predators have a habit of doing that, abducting people. Next movie will be Predators. As I said, it is my favorite of the franchise. The best of the franchise is Predator, but my if I had to go with the one that I love the most, no matter what, is Predators. There are people who don't like Predators. That's fine. I can't see why, but then again, it is what it is. People are people. And yeah, I'll be watching and reviewing that tonight. I can't wait to talk about that. There's so much from it. Predator 2, I don't make this much of a giant, long, intuitive review in the sense of I don't really. There's not much in that movie that there's not much lore in that movie other than just setting the basic rules of the Yautja. They don't kill, and there's some good scenes in it. My favorite scene, like one of my favorite scenes of in the franchise's history, is the train scene. The blackout train scene is amazing. And our boy Bill Paxton went out like a king again because he's Bill fucking Paxton, and just the black and just like the flashing, it was crazy. One of my favorite scenes. Um, but I will say this: um, 8 out of 10. I would highly recommend watching all of them. But it's not a bad sequel. I think it again it does what it needs to do in the sense of it expands the lore of the whole character to make it bigger. I hope Badlands can really give us an in-depth look at the customs and the trades of the Yautja clan and how they operate. But anyways, y'all be good.